the validation from fighting for me was I couldn't get enough of it. So the validation for you from being the guy and everyone looking at you must be huge.
I think there's definitely some underlying issues, what happens that I'm actually unaware of, that I want validation, that I need to prove people wrong. I have got a thing about proving people wrong. And I've used that in the past to get where I want to be in business, just like to get to a certain level and just be like, fuck you. Do you know what I mean? But like, I shouldn't think like that. Do you know what I mean? It's an unhealthy way of thinking, really. But if it works, it works.
Yeah, if it works, it works. I don't know. I think that's maybe training from the outside. But like, what's wrong with using a negative emotion that you have within you? Like, fuck you, I'm going to do this. As long as you convert that, I think. And I think it's there's a famous. I'm trying to put this right, but it's not about where you are. Like if your life's shit, and you use the fact that your life's shit, and you convert that into your life being good, then you get to look back, and you actually quite enjoy that your life was shit. Because you look at the time when it was like crap, and you're like, that, because it changed, because something changed within you, and you became better. You're okay to look back and think, and whatever. But if your life if you still didn't want that, you didn't want that, fuck you, and you didn't become the businessman you become, or you didn't make the money that you come, your life would still suck. So I think there's nothing wrong with being pushed by negative emotion. I think that's something that's unhealthy.
Yeah, I think the more traumatic, the more trauma someone goes through, trauma is something that actually makes you feel uncomfortable. Because if you are comfortable, you won't move. And I think people sometimes need that shit. And it'll flick a switch and it'll make you do something drastic to improve yourself. You know what I mean? Because if you are going through hell every day, you won't like it, so you will change it. But I feel like some people get to a certain level and then they get comfortable and then they just stay there.
Yeah, I mean, that's described me over the last couple of years, and I've tried to get away from that. Trying to get away from comfort. I think my life in fighting, I was completely uncomfortable and I was going up, and then made a bit of money. I was like, oh, it's quite nice. That's quite nice.
That's one of the most dangerous things about becoming successful and getting recognition, being able to still have that obsession with where you want to be without getting comfortable. Because you can get to a certain level where everyone eats at the nicest restaurants, you can hang around the nicest people, yeah, but it's important to go home and still fucking get at it after work, because, again, it's very easy to get comfortable once you get to a certain level. Like you go to Dubai, in the best place in the world, you're like, it's nice. But then you see someone else driving a nicer car and you're like, oh, I could do one of those. Yeah. So it's, I mean, it shouldn't be just all about materialistic things, but it's having that obsession about where you're going to go. Just don't let it slide.
Yeah, so how do you keep that on track? For you personally, do you set goals? Is there a mechanism you have in place that you have this vision of this man that you want to become, but how do you keep that? Like you said, I know you live a very nice life, traveling all over the world, Dubai. Like I've been to very, very nice places. Sit there and just feel like this is good. Like you can definitely get distracted by it. So how do you stop that from happening?
You secretly hate yourself. You look in the mirror and you hate what you see. You're just like, you fucking get back to work. I don't know, on a serious one, how do you prevent that? I think if you're already on that journey, you'll have something inside you. When you look in the mirror, you know you can do better every day. You know, I don't think that process just happens overnight. You know you're getting comfortable, so you'll probably have a word with yourself. But again, you just coming up with just keep evolving as well. The world's always evolving, so don't get left behind. Set yourself new tasks, whether it's in your health, your business, your relationship. You know, there's always somewhere you can improve. And I think if you're that type of person, you'll find a way to keep improving, regardless of being comfortable for a little bit. You should. I'm a big believer of treating yourself. If you've done a good job, like give yourself some time back, you know, but then get back to work again.
Yeah, I think that's something a lot of people forget. I forgot that in the fighting world again. I know I keep talking about myself, but I do love myself, so it's fine. But like, no, for me, I strive, push. And in MMA, it's like you fight, and then 3 months later, you got another fight. So it's like, I don't know, the same fitness with competitions or whatever, but I would have my fight, I would win, I'd be happy for a day, 12 hours, maybe.
What you're saying, though, it's that chemical reaction you get in your head. You're going on fucking stage, basically. This is your arena. You just kick the fuck out. It's like most manliest thing on the planet, bro. You're a gladiator. And then you go back, you sat backstage, you're probably like, right, what do I do now?
Exactly. And you're like, okay, when's the next one?
Yeah.
That's literally how it is. It's like you celebrate, you wake up the next day, your head hurts because you've been smacked in the face, your head hurts because you've drank liters of alcohol, at least in my case. And then you wake up and you think, I'm going to eat a pizza, and then what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I just what? So then you're just thinking, when's the next day? Okay, I'm going to fight in 3 months. Okay, I'll take 2 weeks of a rest and recovery, and you get back on mission, right? So, but what I found fighting for me was easy, and then when I stopped fighting, it was like there's no 3 month loop, right? So then I need to be like driven all the time, every day, and I'm not autistic, but I'm autistic to the point where I'm always looking to be 1% better, trying to improve this, improve that. But I spent maybe 6 to 12 months probably like depressed because I didn't have that next fight. And someone said this to me the other day recently. It was like, everyone says fighters die 2 deaths. They die when they retire, and then they die when they die, right? Because when your whole identity is destroyed. But someone called it social death, right? Which I had never heard before. But it's like death in the social realms. And I think this is something reality TV stars, they'll be comparing to you, but that happens to them a lot. They get the limelight and they get the glory, and then it goes away because who cares after a while? You know what I mean? Unless you continue to evolve, as you just said. And it's like they have that social death where their identity is kind of like slowly getting drawn out of them, and that it can destroy them, and destroyed me leaving fighting. So what made you, like evolve and change and look to go towards business rather than become depressed fat loser like I did for a couple of years?
I mean, yeah. Sorry, my sister's ringing there. It's because I always went back to what I actually loved. Using shows and getting Instagram followers, it was always a means to an end to use that traffic for something else. Because, like you said, a lot of my friends are on TV, done this, that, and the other, but they did nothing in between because they thought they were too good because they just went on TV for 5 fucking minutes and they got 1 million followers, but they got fuck all in the bank account, and then they're not using anything they've got to their advantage to create a business for the longevity. And that was always in the back of my head. I'd always go back to work. But I had no shame because I loved what I did. I think that's the difference. A lot of people who went on these shows were probably working in fucking shops or Greggs or whatever, so you don't want to go back to work. I loved what I did, so it was not a problem for me. So I always just went back and did, and then just wanted to keep expanding all the time. But there was a point in my life where I did like mid-20s. I was kind of like felt a bit lost. I was training people all day, every day. I was like, is this it? Is this fucking me? But again, it takes a trigger to make something else work, So